Ayup Woodlanders. Welcome to Woodland Paradise. But don't let the sunshine deceive you, because it's only 5 degrees today. And remember, don't cast a clout till May's out. On the job cards today, I've got to try and get just a couple of trees knocked down, because when I tried to get the branch logger in a couple of weeks ago, that was close. I had a right job trying to get the branch logger down the bottom end, and getting the tractor in down the bottom end is going to be quite a frequent thing for extraction, branch logging, other things that are going on down there, and there's like 2 years worth of felling to do down there, so I've got to try and get a decent access route in. So I'm going to have to just grab the moment while it's cold, because I hate felling trees when it's red hot. So while it's cold, we'll wallop them over, we'll quickly get changed, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, we're all sorted. Still got quite a bit of moisture in the woodland. This larch tree came over in the storms and got hung up in them trees up there, and I severed it off the bottom thinking it would go over, and it wouldn't go over. We'll use my felling lever. One of you guys mentioned this the other day, that they learnt just by simply watching that what this bit's for. You can use it for turning logs, so you hook in, roll it like that. In fact, this could be Tooltip Tuesday on a Wednesday. You can hook your log in like that, and you can roll your log over, use it as a leverage. But you can also use it for getting hung up trees down. I'll show you. This may not actually work here today, because nothing ever does when you've got the camera on. Basically, you can hook in like that, get your hook in on the back, so that bit, hook it on the back, and then you can do that bit. Lots of cracking. That made me breathe heavy. Anyway, it's all but down. Just a little bit hung up in there. But if nothing else, it shows you Tooltip Tuesday. This is a Fiskars felling lever. Fiskars. I don't think you can get this model anymore. They do a new one called a Wood Expert with this weird hook thing underneath, and I can't see how that works. I think the hook is just going to get in the way for me. This has been a great all-rounder. This is now 20 plus years old. It's been totally amazing. If I could get another one that's identical, I would get another, but I think Husqvarna, Oregon or Still might be my next purchase, and I think for that we'll wait for the APF at the end of the year. Tooltip Tuesday, felling lever, turning hook, all round, great bit of kit. Next job for this, strip the bark off these poles so that I can use them in some sort of project. This one had been twisting in the wind, and what it does, it rocks and twists like that and then breaks, and then you end up with disease and rot in it, and it had fell into these trees anyway, so the best thing to do was sever it off for me, and to use what timber I can off it before it's no good to anybody. For us also, it poses a bit of a health and safety risk. And in its place, look, we've got a little hazel tree, which is awesome. I'm hearing that piece where I had to fell that pine tree last week, and I've just been having a chat with the chief executive, and we're thinking of shifting over to here instead. So we've got a pine tree next to me, slightly bigger one there, the one behind it is dead, that one there that's bent, that's only just alive, and behind that is only a small larch tree, and behind that is this tiny little self-set cherry. So I'm thinking of going straight down here instead, leaving that, because what it means is fell in a big larch at the end, and I just like to save larch. They struggle with Phytophthora, not here but in general. I'm like, well, while they're alive I'll try and leave them alone until I need them. That's the first leg done. Just got a couple of these ash trees to pop down as well, so I can get the branch logger in and through there. Down here, and I've just got to have a check of the pathway just to make sure we can get the tractor through. The tight spot is these two trees here. Morning all. Got just one more panel to finish on this 7-panel order I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. We'll weave this one. That means we can get that order complete and can get the money in. Look at the rot in that. It sort of goes into these weird segments. It's almost like dry rot, that. Anyway, there you go. Just thought I'd share that. My battery ran out, so I just put a new battery in and it switched itself on. Finished the panel off, which is good news. And that's me done for today. Morning. It's like Groundhog Day. It's raining again. Just been to the post office and they've shut it. I've no idea why. Another one that shut a while ago in Overseal. I don't know whether that one has been reopened, but just seems like they shut these things and then you never hear anything else about it. Anyways, that's my little moan for this morning. I was thinking I'd have a charcoal burn. We'll check, see how gooey it is underneath. It just gets so wet in the bottom, I'm just going to heat a barrel up for nothing. That's how it feels. Anyway, I'm having a right good whinge this morning. Got a little bit of maintenance I might need to do first on my 2-wheel tractor. A quick trial run, and I've definitely lost Diff-Lock. Something in the gearbox is not working. Just take all these gubbins off here, and then hopefully I can see inside and see where there's something that's broken. We've got some rather gloopy oil going on down here, so we're just getting that out. But I think the Diff-Lock spring has unwound itself somehow. There. This wire thing, that wire, and I think that is the spring to this Diff-Lock, which is there. Yes, misery. And so there we go. And so more progress update. I've managed to get the final drive out, and I can see the Diff-Lock thing in there. And that spring sits in here, and then the hub kind of goes into that. Kilworth, who are the official importers of these things, awesome company, they've actually got a brand new spring. We've got 3 of them. So far, so good. Springs back in, shafts back on. It's actually stopped raining, which is good news. And I've managed to fix the 2-wheel tractor. So I'll see you tomorrow and see what adventures we've got in store in the morning. Morning. I was online the other day and this sort of fell into the shopping basket, and surprisingly the mud is starting to dry up, and that's the first time I've managed to get the truck anywhere near the work zone for what seems about 4 months. And finally, the 8 panels going to their new home, which means we get paid. And I think that's it. So I'll see you next week. Just show you these apple blossoms. I've said this before, but I don't mind repeating myself. Apple blossom is one of my absolute favourites. Stunning. They're all in full bloom as well. Bit of a stunner this morning. Quite a chilly start for saying it's almost May. Just had to nip up the woods for something for a customer, and then off to do a little gardening job, off to look at some hazel panel. A bit of a mismatch day today. Morning. Just had a couple of beanpole orders to sort out, so maybe about another 50 going out today, which is pretty good. There won't be many of this left. I think there might be about 100 left here. We've got our beanpoles sorted. These are some grade B's or C's here. I'm going to take those ones home, and I'll just introduce you to my axe. Tooltip Tuesday. This is an axe I had when I first started green woodworking. It's called a stew by. So we do an 800 gram version, and I'll be honest, I wished I'd got the 800 gram version because it is heavy. It's quite a 4-on workout, and it's got some weird things on it. It's got some sort of nail puller there. You have a nail puller there. And I got the angle grinder and cut that off because that mashes the back of your hand up. Stupid idea that was. And it's also a side axe, so you may notice this side is got a flat profile, a bit like a chisel. And this side, so this is a right-handed side axe, designed for right-handed use. And honestly, Tooltip Tuesday, I reckon it's a cracking axe. It cost me about £40. I think I've had it over 10 years. It doesn't come particularly sharp, I'll be honest. It's got quite a dull edge. You couldn't cut yourself on the edge that you get. You will need to grind it and sharpen it. Now, that's a whole other video, and the last thing you want to do is get an angle grinder out and start sharpening it, because it's just axe death. So that's worth bearing in mind. You might need an hour plus to get yourself a nice sharp edge. But now it's got the edge, it keeps it really well. I think I may have sharpened this about 3 times. It's got a lovely ring to the steel. I don't think it will. It's not going to do it, is it? When you hit the steel just right, it's got a lovely ring to it. And if it come to and I lost this one, or it did break or something like that, I would happily go out and buy another. But there you go, just do buy axe. Try and get yourself the 800 version instead of the 900 version, and I think it's worth every penny. Talking about axes, I've got a few now, and I think we might have to have an axe video one day. Let me know if you think that's a good idea, and I'll show you all of the axes that I've got and what I think to them. It's a bit damp first thing this morning, but the sun's coming out, which is brilliant. First job is to relight the charcoal retort, get this gas in and going, hoping I can get 2 barrels done today. That's the goal, because this one has been half started, so I don't think it'll be long before it starts gassing again. I did a video the other day about hazel hurdles and how long they last for, and this is one of my very first hazel hurdles, and I hadn't developed a frame system, so this one was just held together with nails. And to be honest, it's now probably 11 years old, and it only dropped to bits because I moved it. Really, it was sort of holding together. It did its job. I learned lessons from making those styles, and now it can be sacrificed to the dragon. Yesterday I knocked these together. This is for an order for Dave, and he used to work for the National Forest. I shan't be weaving them today, I don't think. I've got myself in a little bit of a mess the other day. Managed to delete some footage that I thought I'd saved onto the hard drive, and I hadn't. You know when you're convinced you've done something and then you realise afterwards that you haven't done something? You're like, what things can I put in place to make sure that I don't do something so stupid again? And it's all because I've got multiple different videos going on.
And when I record them on the same camera, I'm like, right, so those chunk of files have got to go onto that bit of the hard drive, and those chunk of files have got to go into that folder. And what I've done is not transferred those files off the camera into a folder, and then deleted the SD card on the camera, and we end up with files I'm missing.
Such is life. Do you know, I thought I heard the cuckoo then. It's always nice to hear the cuckoo. I'm like, why can't you find your own nest? Relight the charcoal so we can melt some wax. All become apparent on another video. This has altogether been a little bit of a fragmented woodlog that I think now might have spanned nearly 3 weeks, which is not normal for me. Apologies for that if it feels a little bit like the distant past when I'm talking about some things. I'll try and put some dates in.
It's all because I've been doing these other video projects, which I want to do, but of course it naturally affects the way the woodlog's chronology goes anyway.
I'm waffling now. In conclusion, thanks again for watching my little video all about the woodland. If you're able to, enjoy a stunning woodland season. You can probably hear the robin and the blackbird in the background, and it's just a lovely time of year. Bluebells are out, so do what you can, if you're able to enjoy the woodlands all around you, and I'll see you in the next one. It would have been nice to have got an extra barrel on, but I haven't emptied the other barrels.